Hi everyone and welcome back to the Yoga House. Today's little video is going to prepare us for postures like headstand and handstand. If you're not a yogi and you're just interested in stabilizing through the upper body, we're not going to be going into the full expression of those two poses at all. We're just using this short little session to help us signal to the muscles that we want them to work in a certain way and make sure that we have a really good feeling of confidence when we are weight bearing on the upper body, right? So this is a foundational work, but it's suitable for all levels. Even those of you who are proficient at the poses, this is a great maintenance video. So we're going to just start in a little preparatory position, taking your arms up and interlace your fingers. Now, the pinky finger that is closest to your screen, spoon that underneath the other one, right? This will help us with a good steady base later on when we start to weight bear. So let your elbows just jut directly out in front of your shoulders. And then if you feel that it's okay, bring the elbows a little closer together. Dropping the shoulder blades down the back as best you can. And I'll just show you from the side here. So as you draw the shoulder blades down the back, you're making sure that you're switching on the strength in your back and shoulder muscles as best you can. Now from there, we're just going to shrug a little bit up and down first. So we lift up on the inhale, shoulders to ears, and then exhale down. Lift up on the inhale, shoulders to ears, and exhale down. We'll do 3 more. In, X, in, X, in, and X. Now we want to stay in the exhale position, right? So keep the shoulder blades down the back as much as you can. Start to push down as if you had your upper arms on maybe a stool or a chair. Push down and really get the strength in your back there. Now, as you do that, you might find that your front ribs flare out a little bit. So just draw the front ribs back, and you can see there's quite a shift there. My pelvis moves back quite substantially. Good, and then we're going to try to protract and retract in this position while the hands are interlaced. So on the protraction, where we're drawing the shoulders away from each other and towards the front of our mats, we'll inhale, and then on the retraction, shoulder blades come back towards each other and move towards the back of our mats. We'll exhale there, and then in and X. Keep the ribs strong all the time. In and X. 3 more. In, X, in, X, in, and X. So we'll be working into movements and weight bearing sequences that allow us to be free through those areas in the shoulders while still weight bearing. This will make much more sense when we get up here. So let's come into an all fours position and back yourself towards the wall, soles of the feet on the wall. And then we'll interlace the fingers again, and remember that little pinky spoon. So you're spooning that bottom pinky in behind the other one, and you'll feel it, right? So undo that for a second and then do it again. And you'll feel that the latter, where we're spooning the pinkies, is much more of a stable base from there. So from this position, we're going to lift the bum up, keep the knees bent. You're on your balls of the feet and the toes are facing forward. So your heels are right up the wall. Knees are bent gently. And then from there, just holding the position while squeezing the shoulder blades down the back. Now, earlier on in our preparatory movement, as we squeezed the shoulder blades down the back, we noticed that maybe the front ribs want to collapse forward. So draw them back. What's back and what's forwards when we're upside down? So what I mean by drawing the front ribs back is drawing your front ribs towards your back ribs. Keep your breathing really steady. Now you might find that your shoulders want to hunch up to the ears. Pull them down the opposite direction like we did in our preparation. Keep your breathing nice and steady there. Your head is down but not grounded. So the head is staying off the floor for the duration today. So next step, we're going to take the right foot up the wall, just beyond the ball of the foot and the soles of the toes. And then we're lifting. See if you can lift the left foot off the ground a little. If not, just make it lighter. And then coming back down. Exhale to power up.
Inhale to come back down. X, in. X, in. Let's do one more. X, and in. Good. And then we'll switch. Take the ball of the right foot down. Your tiptoes are facing forwards. And then the left foot comes up. And off we go. Power up. Exhale. Inhale back down. Heads off the floor. Power up and down. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Good. And then we'll come down and we'll take a little break. So just move yourself away from the wall a little bit. And we'll just come into an assisted child's pose. So take one hand on top of the other and then use that little structure as a pillow. Let the forehead come down. And then if it's okay for you, let your bum come back to touch the heels. And breathing nice and deeply.
Good. Okay, so the next one, we'll interlace the fingers again. Take that little finger to spoon behind the other one so you have a good sturdy, steady base. Have a quick glance down at your elbows. Make sure they are no wider than your shoulder span. And then off we go again. So we lift up this time with the bum. And then if you can, start to take both feet up the wall. Just a little bit. Keep your knees bent. Now from here, we're going to shrug shoulders up and down. At your own pace. Up and down. Ears when the shoulders are up. Think pelvis when the shoulders are down. Now hold the down position, really pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears. If you're in trouble in terms of figuring out whether they're by the ears or not, shrug them up again, and then you know that that's the wrong thing, and then shrug them back down. Now keep the shoulders shrugged down towards your pelvis, and then we start to straighten the knees and bend them. 4 more times. 1. With the breath, exhale here, inhale here. Twice more. Last one. Good. And then coming down and taking a little break. Maybe take the other hand on top this time. Really settling into your breath. Good, and then we'll come up again. So remember all the stuff that we've learned thus far. The shrug is there just to remind us of what not to do, which is to shrug the shoulders up. So you just do that a few times if you're unsure, and then draw the shoulder blades down. And then interlace the fingers again, spoon the pinky. Good name for an album, I think. And then we're lifting up, and then straightening the legs fully. Now draw the front ribs in towards the back ribs and hold here. Head is off the floor. Full power into the arms, shoulders. Keep your shoulder blades down the back, like you're trying to put them in your back pocket. And then coming down nice and lightly, resting in your child's pose again. Now you might have noticed already that I'm quite close to the wall. I want to teach myself that closeness as much as possible. If you come too far away from the wall, you're just going to end up in a kind of an elbow plank position, right? So you want to be close enough to the wall that when you do come up, you're giving yourself pretty much right angles. So it's floor, wall, legs, trunk. Right, so that's going to put you in the position to invert the trunk and to give you that headstand feeling, even though the head is not down. Reason we're practicing with the head up today is so that your arms and shoulders are truly taking the weight. So when you do go through into headstand, you're very, very stable, neck is safe. When you do go through into handstand, even though the head isn't down for handstand, you're still working into this infallible security, safety and confidence through your shoulder girdle. So let's go up again. We'll interlace the fingers again. Remember to draw those front ribs in. And I'm no further away from the wall than the length of my lower legs, right? So from knee to ankle. It will feel too close, then you know you're in the right place. So head comes down but not grounded. And then we walk up the wall, draw the front ribs in, and we hold here. Look to the wall behind you. Feet can be together or apart. Lots of work now. Draw those front ribs in. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Shoulder blades down the back. Bending the knees and coming down into child's pose. Good, and then coming back up. So hopefully that helps you. Hopefully you feel the pump and the benefit there through the shoulder blades. You can do that ad nauseum, you can't really overdo with that, but do make sure that your shoulder blades stay down. You understand, just to reiterate, this shrugging action that we did earlier is just to show us to go down eventually, right? So if ever you're in doubt about the placement of your shoulder blades, hunch up for a moment, but then come down in the opposite direction. Hopefully that helps. Thanks everyone. Namaste.